My choice for 2025, the Metalbone HRD. Why? So I played around with the weights, and the reason I like the weight configuration is because it gave me the best balance of stability and power and leverage. But why I chose this racket is because the foam and the feeling that I have off the racket when I hit drives and lobs is perfectly balanced with the feeling that I have for the smashes, the vibras, the volleys. So the defense and attack was perfectly balanced. And that's what this racket gives you. When I changed the weights in another way, I felt like my drives were a little bit sluggish, but my overhead was almost too powerful. And when I put all the weights at the bottom, it was extremely stable, extremely safe, very control orientated. But then because I'm also not that tall, I didn't feel like I had as much leverage on my smash. But I move the weights around and it becomes a different racket. Move the weights around and it becomes a different racket. And once again, that little bit of a firmer foam means that not only do you get a more tactile feedback, but it's actually a little bit softer than last year's one, the one that I played with for most of this year in 2024. The slightly softer feeling racket doesn't sacrifice that tactile feedback, which is amazing. I didn't think that would be possible. The HRD in my mind was always like this really hard racket, but even when you hit your hand, it feels like, yes, it's hard, yes, it's definitely noticeably harder than the normal one, but the tactile feedback is there, and that extra little bit of bounce that it gives you just makes this racket more forgiving, definitely easier to play with. I think that the people that would want the Metalbone but want slightly firmer foam, or are used to a slightly firmer foam and they want to keep going in that trend, they will benefit from this racket and not feel like it's too difficult to play with, too difficult to find the sweet spot. The drastic changes, the longer handle, the leverage, it is extremely different. I think you definitely should play with this if you are confident in your technique. And if you like power, you like enthusiastically playing around with the weighting system to find your perfect match, be patient, this racket will reward you. It is an amazing racket, and going into 2025, it's interesting to see that adidas went with the trend that many manufacturers are going with, which is more diamond, more power, more exciting to play with, and I hope that it serves me well in 2025.